Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. This morning I'm standing on the banks of the Monongahela River here in Fairmont, West Virginia. This is about 20 miles north of where I live. I'm standing in front of this beautiful old bridge. It's called the $1 Million Bridge or the Jefferson Street Bridge. And I'll give you a little bit of history on it here in a minute. As you can see behind me, we have amazing conditions this morning, just a beautiful heavy fog. It was really bad coming up here on the highway this morning. Sunrise is happening behind you there, so I was hoping to get some nice light shining through the fog onto the bridge, but I'm not sure how long that's going to take before that happens because it's like varying degrees. It kind of comes and goes. It gets really thick and then it clears, not clears, but gets a little thinner for a few minutes and then the thickness rolls back in. So yeah, I may be I may be here for a little while. So the first time I saw this bridge was back in April when I was up here house hunting, and I had a couple spare hours one evening. So I came down here and it was close to sunset, and luckily we had an amazing sunset that night. We had beautiful clouds, great color, and I was able to take long exposures from both sides of the bridge, and I captured a couple really nice images, and I'll put those up on the screen for you now so you can see. So I came up this morning expecting to find the same scene as you would. Come to find out, I think you can see it down there, they built a boat dock on the other side of the bridge, and they built a couple on this side of the bridge. My first thought was, okay, well, good, I'll set up on the boat dock and take my long exposures from here. Problem is they're floating boat docks, so they're moving ever so slightly, but they are moving, and I can feel it, and I get motion sick pretty easy, so I can't stay on this thing very long. You can see it behind me there. The other problem is if I try to include it in my composition, they are moving. They're moving with the current of the river, and I'm trying to do 30-second long exposures, and it's blurring. Now, I guess I could take a photo of the bridge and the boat docks at a higher shutter speed and try to blend them all together. But as you can see, they're not really attractive. It's just not something that I would want in my shot. It's not like they're like old and broken down or something cool like that. They're you know, new and generic and don't really have a great color. It's just a good lesson for all of us to take pictures of your favorite places as often as you can, because you never know what you're going to find on the next visit. So I don't know, I'm going to play around with it a little bit. Like I said, I'm going to stick around for a while. I'm going to wait for the sunlight to start breaking through behind you there. Maybe put some nice light in the fog onto the bridge. For now, I'm just kind of scouting around, looking for good compositions with or without these boat docks. All right, so I hope you enjoy those images of the bridge with and without the boat docks. So I've moved a little bit farther away from the bridge and come down this river bank, and I'm literally standing at the edge of the river here. I'm trying to use this log and some of these rocks in my foreground. It's pretty socked in right now though, so I'm gonna have to wait till it clears a little bit, maybe get a little bit more light. So a little bit about the history of this bridge. It's just a little bit because I just know the basics. But I guess it was, construction started way back in 1916. It was given a budget of $400,000. And much like my wife's spending habits, it went way over budget. And it topped out around $1 million, hence the name $1 Million Bridge. So between 1921 and 2000, it's been like the main connector across the Monongahela River here to the city of Fairmont. And over time it's fallen into disrepair. So I think in 2000 they shut it down for a while, made some improvements, didn't rebuild it, but just did some renovations on it, reopened it, and it is what it is today. So it's 102 years old. It's an absolutely gorgeous bridge. All right, so I am going to go down to the other side of the bridge on this side of the river and see if I can find any compositions from there. Again, they built a boat dock over there as well, so I might have to work around that. But yeah, let's go check that out. So yeah, I'm on the other side of the bridge now. It looks like there used to be another bridge here at some point in the past. I don't know if it was pedestrian bridge, automotive bridge, or like a train bridge, but you can see the remnants of the columns there, and I don't know if you can see that on the far side of the bank there, but pretty cool that they left it up. So yeah, this is another floating dock as well. Whoa, and it's floating. There's no way I can stand on this too long. Maybe if I stand absolutely still and try a shorter long exposure, I might be able to get away with it, but the river's not really flowing. It's pretty still. There's not much of a current right now. So maybe if I stand still for a minute, very gently snap the picture and don't move during those 10 seconds or so, maybe I might be able to get away with a nice clean shot from here. All right, so I had to switch from my 10-stop ND filter down to my 6-stop. Gave me an exposure time of about 3.2 seconds, and that's about the maximum that I can keep this boat dock from moving. And I'm getting a little woozy being out on it, so I've taken a picture of both the big bridge and the remnants of the old bridge. So I will put those up on the screen for you now. I'm gonna get off this bridge back to steady land, and I might move down a little farther here to see what I can find. All right, so I got here around 7 a.m. this morning. Sunrise was at 7:20, although we didn't have a sunrise, obviously. And it is now 9:25 a.m. So I've been here a little over almost 2.5 hours. And as you can see, we're still pretty socked in. I looked at the weather forecast. It said it should be clearing around 10 a.m. or so. I was hoping it would clear a little bit more before then, but I've got things to do. So I'm gonna wrap this up from the $1 Million Bridge here in Fairmont, West Virginia. I hope you've enjoyed this look at this historic local bridge of ours here. I'll put any photos that I haven't already put up here at the end of the video. Hope everybody's doing good out there. Thanks for tuning in this week, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.